Hi, Jeff Miller here from ChristianGhostwriting.com. I want to share some things about structuring your book. One thing, as I've written 100 books for other people as a ghostwriter and a co-writer, one thing that is fairly common is that somebody comes to me because they have a message, and it's a very good message, but rarely does anybody know how the best way to present it is. They think if they have a good message that all they need to do is get it down on paper, tell people what they know, and it's going to change the world. Before I go on, subscribe, like, and share. I would truly appreciate it. So I want to talk quickly about this. It's not enough to have a great message. A great message is important, but it's not enough. What you have to have is a reader in mind. You've got to know who needs this book. Well, you might say, well, everyone. Okay, but who is everyone? Like, what makes a person pick up this book? What is the missing thing in their life that's going to make them think that they need to read your book? So that's what you got to think about. Who needs this book? What kind of pain are they in? What kind of pain were you in before you discovered the information that you have to share? And then you need to structure the book according to the reader and that pain point, because I can promise you this, no one is going to read this book unless you write it with the reader in mind. You've really got to try to understand who that is and what they need and what they want and what kind of transformation that needs to happen for them in the book. It's not enough just to give them some information and then tell them to go figure out what to do with it. You not only need to give them the profound truth, but you also need to come up with a way to present that truth in some kind of a linear process where you build piece by piece a road of transformation. So you need to know what that is. You need to know who that is. You need to know what it is that you're addressing. You need to intro your book, and I recommend you be as personal as possible. I was having this problem, and I didn't know how I was going to solve it, and then suddenly I found the solution. God gave me this solution. Someone else gave me the solution. I know the solution. And then you need to expand on that a bit to say, I know I'm not the only one with this problem. This person over here had this problem. This person over here had this problem, and here's how it manifested. But I know the solution. God knows the solution. The Bible has the solution, and I'm going to share that with you in the chapters that follow. Then you go, chapter 1, here's the solution. And then the rest of the book is, how can you believe the solution and then apply the solution? So you've got to figure out, what is it? A lot of times with a Christian book, everything probably should spring from the gospel. So a lot of books I write will start, rightfully so, with, okay, what's the foundation for what I'm going to say? It's the Bible. What's the foundation for the Bible? It's God. So you may lay some biblical foundation for the biblical Christian worldview. Remember, I'm a Christian ghostwriter. So once you do that, then you're saying, okay, to address this problem, foundationally, you got to understand God and the gospel and this worldview. And then here's how you apply it step by step. First, you've got to understand, usually it's some kind of coming into the light, some kind of coming to a knowledge of revelation. You've got to admit that you have this problem, and then you've got to admit that the Bible has the answer. God has the answer in Scripture. And then you've got to see, like, what's the first thing you do? It's admitting it. You know, in Christianity, often it just starts with confession. Confess that you're sinning. Confess that you're broken. Confess that you're a mess. Confess that you need God's help. And then here's the truth that applies specifically to the situation that this book is about, the healing or whatever it is, this journey. And then here is a set of measures, spiritual disciplines, whatever it is. Do this, then chapter 4, do this, chapter 5, do this, chapter 6, do this, chapter 7, go tell everybody, whatever it is, you've got to figure out what is the step-by-step process that if the reader reads it is going to transform them. And if you can transform a reader with your book by the end of the book, then you can change their life, and that's who will then tell everybody else about your book. Your book will sell if it's transformative, if it actually helps people. And your information should be enough to help people, but the whole point of putting it in a book is to put it in a certain way that ends with very specific call to action. And maybe you have them go back and maybe you write it in such a way that they could read it over and over again. The best books I've read 10 or 20 times, sometimes 30 times. So that's the kind of book you want to write. If you want help with that, I do consultation. I can look at your book, I can look at your idea, and I can talk with you about that. I can help you write it. I can help you organize it. We can help you edit it. We can help you every step of the process to get this book published. So go to christianghostwriting.com, or in the description, you can click on a link and have a consultation with me, and we can see if there's something that we can do for you. But get more information from christianghostwriting.com and reach out if you'd like some help with your book. I feel called to help you get your message out into the world. I know that God has given you a message, but you may not be a writer, and that's totally okay. That doesn't mean you shouldn't have a book. So that's what we're here for. Otherwise, have a great day.